Hello, I'm Mayor Phil Good with your weekly update. As we conclude budget approval for fiscal year 2024, which begins on July 1st, questions arise about the city's tax structure and how we are funded. Many are surprised to learn that transaction privilege tax, TPT or sales tax, is the primary source of revenue for the city's general fund, which pays for public safety and other critical city services. Property tax in Prescott accounts for less than 4% of revenue for the general fund. As growth continues in and around Prescott city limits, the low city property tax plays a minor but important role in funding our public safety and other critical services. The Prescott property tax rate is much lower than the rate in the unincorporated county areas, which means that growth and increased property values disproportionately benefit the county with their higher property tax rate. However, the growth in North Prescott area is stretching city public safety services, capability, and response times. This means that the police and fire services are funded from the city's general fund with a vastly lower property tax rate. Currently, for example, a property with a $400,000 assessed value, which is not within the Prescott city limits, but is located in the Central Arizona Fire and Medical Authority, also known as CAFMA, their district will pay $1,043 more each year than a similarly valued property in the city of Prescott. As Council moves to approve the fiscal year 24 budget, for the first time since 2017, we're considering an increase in the property tax levy by the maximum allowed 2%. This increase will trigger a truth in taxation process, which includes public notices and public hearings. What will this cost Prescott homeowners? About $13.04 more per year for a similar $400,000 property. A very minimal additional revenue will help the city keep up with the need for adequate police and firefighters, equipment, vehicles, and even a proposed new fire station to serve a growing city population. Property tax is a more consistent funding source, while sales tax is subject to the cycles of the economy and tourism variations. Police and fire protection is a constant need and requires a stable funding source. A truth in taxation notice will be published in the local newspaper as required by law, stating that the City of Prescott is proposing an increase in primary property taxes. All interested citizens are invited to attend the public hearing on the tax increase scheduled for Tuesday, June 27, 2023 at 3 p.m. in the City Hall Council Chambers, 201 North Montezuma Street, Prescott, Arizona. The City of Prescott has been actively seeking to protect the Prescott Regional Airport operations by securing land around the facility and ensuring compatible uses with the current and possible future operations. Following executive session on Tuesday, May 23rd, Council voted 5-2 to enter into a pre-annexation agreement with Deepwell Ranch for about 600 acres of land north of the airport considered to be outside of the critical flyover zones. This agreement is part of good faith efforts and ongoing negotiations to explore options for compatible land uses around the airport. With the approval of this agreement, annexation is not guaranteed. It simply outlines the terms of annexation if it were to occur in the future. If an annexation is approved, the land will be developed in the newly annexed area instead of the areas closer to airport boundaries. There would be no increase in the number of housing units allowed or water use beyond which was included in the original Deepwell Master Plan Agreement approved in 2017. Rather, new housing units would be built in an area considered to be outside of the critical flyover zones. Annexation of 250 acres of land or more requires a 60-day public comment period prior to a council vote and is thoroughly considered by the Planning and Zoning Commission prior to City Council review. City Council is required to approve such annexations by 3/4 votes, which is 6 out of 7 council members voting in the affirmative. This entire process typically takes up to 9 months. This pre-annexation agreement contemplates that the city would begin the public notification process and receive input regarding annexation. But the city will only consider annexation if doing so is part of a resolution with the parties to the Deepwell Ranch Development Agreement that adequately ensures compatible uses near the airport. There's now a link on the homepage of our city website that links to all of the pre-annexation agreement information, and it will be kept up to date as things progress. Night work paving operations are scheduled to take place along Willow Creek Road beginning this week. Work may occur Monday through Friday between 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Crews will be applying a pavement rejuvenation seal along Willow Creek Road between Willow Lake Road and Green Lane Pulliam Drive. Crews will complete the outside lanes one night and the inside lanes being completed the following night. Please be aware that there may be temporary street closures, lane restrictions, reduced speeds, loud noise, and flagging operations throughout the work zones. This work is highly weather dependent and subject to change. Please do not drive on the fresh surface treatment. Thank you for your patience as we work to improve the city's roadways for all users. Questions or concerns, call the project hotline at 928-237-3114. Last week, a leak was discovered in a water line that transports effluent water from the Sundog area to the golf courses and the airport recharge percolation ponds. While crews work to repair the break this week, there may be lane restrictions on State Route 89 between the Watson Lake Roundabout and north to Lillian Lane. Finally, there will be a public meeting tomorrow evening to review the controversial Prescott Frontier Days master plan proposal to expand the facilities and events at Prescott Rodeo Grounds. The meeting will be held in the Mackin Building adjacent to the rodeo grandstands from 5 to 6 p.m. Review of the master plan features will be presented and questions submitted by the public will be answered. I'm Mayor Phil Good. This has been your weekly update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.